even see a little bit of it in Ireland, a bit in Scotland, and maybe a bit of Wales too. But of course, an eclipse is a wonderfully amazing thing to see because it's different. It's out of the norm. And we are on YouTube too now. See, I can always fill in the blanks as and when we need to. So, welcome one and all, both on Facebook and on YouTube. And it is a pleasure to see you all here today. First things first, why am I here on my own? Because Karen's not with me. She's abandoned me today for a better offer, and that better offer is to celebrate her birthday. So feel free to message bomb her as much as you like with congratulations of standing on this planet for another rotation around the sun. Um, it is going to be really, really cool today. We've got Kate May, of course, joining us. We've got a solar eclipse. It's Karen's birthday. All those wonderful different things that we can reference when it comes to working with astrology. So we're very much looking forward to having Kate May on again as our outside broadcast co-host. We've got notices and information on what's going on in the upcoming hours and days of SPTV, and lots of chit chat, lots of messages, lots of conversations, and lots of debate, I am sure, will ensue. And it is a pleasure to welcome you all as part of your Monday kickstart because we are about starting your day and starting your week. That's why we named it as we did. Starting off, of course, with Amanda Ward. Good morning, Nick and Richard. Good morning, Amanda Ward. It is a pleasure to have you on today. Welcome along. And don't forget to share. Let the world know that you're watching and let the world know that we're here. Because, as I said earlier, sharing is caring. You knew that already, though, because you're on Facebook. Margaret Bennett, good morning, Nick. Good morning, Richard, and all coming on. Good morning to Debbie Ross. Welcome along to you too. Is that a lovely money plant? Wow, that's a good one. I think bit of a family thing, the money plant. Um, Cheryl Konings, hello to you. Good morning, Cheryl. Welcome along, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time of day it is for you. I love the ability to be able to say good evening at any time of the day and potentially being able to be right. Helen Mansell, good morning to you. As ever, that wonderful flower in your hair always puts a smile on my face. And morning mother. Hello, Linda Brown. Missing Karen. Absolutely. I am missing Karen too. I'm not on my own because I have got Richard and the spirit world whistling in my ears. And I've got you here with me too. Like Eunice Spinks, good morning. You are here. I see that. Hello to you. And Susie Selby, good morning to you as well. Welcome along. It is a pleasure to have you. Ah, and I've just been hearing about this one because, of course, we are now on TikTok. SPTV is on TikTok. And Lily Bell was part of a conversation that I was having a moment ago with Richard before we came on air. So, welcome along, Lily Bell. And thank you for helping out with TikTok and keeping that moving too. Gail Davis, good morning to you. Welcome along. Good to see you. And Nicola, good morning, Nick and Richard. Good morning to you, Nicola. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here she is. It's Kelly Rocket. Greetings, Nick. Good day, Richard. And good evening to you too, my love. Christine Davis, morning, Nick. Lovely to see you. Welcome along to the show, all the way on YouTube. There's some bits that I mentioned earlier for those that are on YouTube. I'll go over them in a second. Oh, Kelly Rocket says she's missing the MAFS finale for this. That's how much this show means to me. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you for putting us as a priority, darling. Um, excuse me, bit of a tickle. Good morning to Sherry Daniels. Welcome to the show. I will just have a rinse and clear the frog. Julie Rampton, welcome along. And good to see you. And Michelle Spurs Collins, good morning to you as well. We've got so many people online today, which is what we which is something really important. Like Brianna Burgess, hi to you. Everyone who is on today, it's the normal show. We will have discussions, we will have debates, we will have a bit of philosophy, we'll have a bit of what's going on in SPTV, and we'll have a bit of messages from the world of spirit too, all intermixed and flowing throughout the show. Pam Stewart, good morning to you. Lovely to see you. I do like that picture. Um, and Julie FME, I hope I got that right. Morning from England. Good to see you. Welcome along. And of course, Trace. Hi, Trace, my blue-haired firecracker. Oh, and her mum. She's in Ely. She's transported herself even closer than normal. Hi, Trace, and hi, Trace's mum. And Denise Porter Gardner. Good morning from Boston, USA. and and I'm also saying hello to Ruth Townsend, and I love that flower in your picture too. And of course, all those joining us in America today, um, there is obviously you've got your eclipse today. I remember about 20 years ago standing outside watching my total eclipse. We've got to wait until 2090 to get another total eclipse in this country. I'm imagining I probably won't be here in physical sense, but I'll definitely be watching in the spirit sense because, of course, I'm absolutely one of these crazy, loony nut jobs who thinks that absolutely nothing untoward is going to happen today. So I look forward to watching from spirit the next total eclipse of the sun. I will probably talk about that a bit later, but it is a total eclipse of the. I'll try not to sing, especially with a frog in my throat. But welcome along, everyone. Please remember to share, to react, to engage. And you know what? If anyone wants to come on and say hello, then don't forget, Richard will have posted a link in the conversation, which is coming up right now. If you want to come on for a chit chat and maybe a message, then we are able to allow you into the show via the power of Zoom. So do feel free if you want to come on and have your opinion shared about whatever topic it is that we're talking about. Feel free to come on and share your opinion. And then, if you've got a question about spirituality, philosophy, I'll answer it if I can. If I can't, I'll ask spirit. And if they can't, we'll just talk about the weather. But today is, of course, as always, about upliftment, laughter, love, and bringing the world of spirit closer to us. So thank you all for joining. And if you haven't already followed TikTok, why not? It's not like we haven't been talking about it a lot. We are now over the 1,000 mark, so we can stream live, and that's been ongoing and happening throughout the week. Richard, bless him, has been adding to his veritable technical bow in order to get the message of spirit out via the SPTV platform on Facebook, YouTube, and now TikTok. So if you do have TikTok and you haven't followed already, then get over onto TikTok at SPTVUK. And Amanda McDade, welcome along. Good morning to you. So today, what are we talking about? Obviously, there is the eclipse. Now, I don't want to go too deep diving into it, but what I will say is that I'm planning for tomorrow. We were talking before the show, Richard and I was thinking about this an awful lot, and I've been airing my views quite openly and honestly about the situation regarding all of the drama that's been reported about a lump of rock passing between a lump of rock and a gas ball, and how it isn't something that is a sign and portents of impending doom and disaster. Lilybell, are the oracle cards that you use available to buy? Lilybell, I'm assuming that there was readings going on TikTok with the SPTV oracle cards. They will be soon. We are waiting for the final print run to be confirmed. I believe that would be right, would it not, Richard? We are waiting. In actual fact, the email asking for an update will be going out today. As soon as they are confirmed, they will be printed. That will be about a 7-day run, and then they will be available to purchase. So, Lilybell, keep an eye out and stay tuned because they are amazing cards. We've used them on the show, both Karen and I. Have used them on the show to give readings as well, and they are wonderful to use. So I can understand why you'd be interested in buying them, and they will be. So we're just waiting on some details, and that will be released as soon as we know any more. Um, but when it comes to my views on a ball of gas creating impending doom upon us, I actually think that there's a deeper meaning in this. And Richard and I were talking about it earlier on. We have so much choice in this life now that we didn't used to have. And as much as we love free will and freedom of choice, sometimes we just want a bit of direction. And when we're spoilt for choice, it's that old kid in a candy store view, isn't it? It's like, oh, but this, but this, but this, but this, but this. And sometimes we just want a bit of a nudge in a direction. So when people are offering an absolute, sometimes we get drawn to it. I absolutely believe that celestial bodies in the universe can have some kind of impact on our daily lives because we are all interconnected in some way. But do I believe that the sun being blocked out for a few minutes by a piece of rock is going to be a sign of the end? No, because there is no end. We are the masters of our own destiny, and we should embrace the life we have. And I was having this conversation with someone today, and I'd like to just briefly share it for a moment, if I may, because we all get frustrated sometimes, we all get worked up sometimes. And I was saying to a friend of mine who's actually watching yesterday, I always wait 24 hours when I get angry before I react because I'll calm down, I'll think more rationally, because I don't want to allow the moment to impact me so heavily that I'm forsaking previous learnings and future possibilities. If we look at the world and the life we live in a rational way, we've got more than we realize. There is always this hope, isn't there, that we want something greater and better and nobler. And there's nothing wrong with striving for more, but it should never forsake what we've got. And so when I see all of this wonderful, dramatic irony about, our predictions of impending doom, it makes me wonder why we don't think about what we have. Because as much as life can be a pain in the butt sometimes, it's still a gift. And that's the message that Spirit comes through with every single time. They'd say to live your life for me, live your life for yourself, take all the advantages that you've got of this physical life. They wouldn't be telling us to do these things if they knew that in a couple of hours' time the world would stop turning, because the world will always keep turning. One of the things that I said yesterday about the eclipse is that the world ends for someone all the time, and it doesn't take some massively popularized celestial event to have an impact on that. And that's absolutely true. And what it reminds us is that we should live every moment to its fullest, to embrace the friendships and the loves and the laughter that we have, to embrace the joys that we have, because they enrich us more than the negatives bring us down. If we take a moment to breathe, to pause, reflect, and consider, and realize that the sun rising over a mountain and setting over a sea are pretty and beautiful and wonderful, and a sign that everything continues. So I'm going to be here tomorrow, and I know you will be too. And I know that the world will keep on turning because Life is a journey, and it's never about the destination. It's about the people that you walk with. So share each day with those that you love and enjoy it. Ashley Oliver, hello, Reverend Ashley Oliver. Reverend Ashley, of course, is a fellow host on SPTV. She says it is human nature to look to natural events to invite meaning. Eons ago, the sun disappearing would have seemed like an end of days. It is a reflection of the times that we're in and the uncertainty that we're in globally. I think it links to our deeper collective psychic uncertainty right now. It is easy to flame that to flame. It is an easy flame to fan for people who are thriving on panic and worry. We as spiritual folk know that we are guided and have our own inner power. I love this thing. You know, it absolutely right, Ashley. You totally hit the nail on the head there. There is so much uncertainty. We don't know which direction to look. In a world where everyone can be a news reporter and everyone can be a scientist or someone who's an expert in something without having to prove it. I did an experiment yesterday for those that follow me on Facebook. I created this pretend news article and I used all of the strings and attributes that people use to dramatize stuff. And it was like shock exclusive, amazing, prediction, eclipse prediction and prophecy revealed. And the article basically said nothing's going to happen. And it also said that we use shock tactics and drama to draw people in. And that article proved it because people were drawn to those words because it had shock, it was sassy, it was adventurous, because we all get so bored of the mundane. But the mundane is good because the mundane is normal. The mundane is the journey. The mundane is life. If you take life as a journey, if you reflect it in the same way as a walk in the park, you don't remember every single step. You will remember certain points. You'll remember that pretty tree. You'll remember seeing that duck. You'll remember that deer coming out of the forest and licking your hand. You'll remember stopping for a breather by the river. But all of the steps in between those moments, we tend to forget because they're just steps that seem to have no real impact on the grand picture. But without those steps, you wouldn't have seen the tree, you wouldn't have seen the duck, you wouldn't have seen the deer, you wouldn't have sat by the water and had a breather. Because those seemingly mundane steps are what take us to where we are going. And life is very much about mundane steps. And I personally would have absolute joy in loads of mundane steps because I know that they are going to lead to something interesting, different. It's it actually says you turned into Nostradamus for 24 hours, something like that, but probably not so popular because I wasn't trying to manifest some fear and worry, because it's all about, you're absolutely right as well. In this way of life, our job is about bringing upliftment and peace and joy, not fear and dread. And it worries me when I see people buying into that. Kelly Roquette says we uh, they say what we manifest during the solar eclipse won't come into a fruition until the next one. Looking back in to the last one I manifested upon, this is true. Do you know what? Absolutely. I remember where I was and what I was doing during that eclipse. I was stood outside of a factory. It was lovely. We all got to stop for a break and go outside and have a look. And I just remember standing there and thinking, this isn't what I want to be doing. And I've been through a couple of reiterations since then. But you know what? I'm now doing what I want to do. So you're absolutely right, because it's an extra nighttime. And if you think about it, sun sets, we rest, we pause, we reflect, we dream. we start afresh the next day if we are wise. It's a mini nighttime, it's an opportunity. So maybe there is that celestial input. It's like, okay, this is what we want. So why not all gather together and send out positivity, send out love, send out peace during the time of the eclipse, rather than sending out fear and worry that nothing's going to be there afterwards. So Kelly Rocket, really, really good point, and absolutely I agree with you. And I am quite confident that our tarot scope today from the lovely Kate May will have something to say about an eclipse. But you're absolutely right. What we put in is what we get out. And if it's a moment where everyone is standing still and focused, that is absolutely the power of the human living spirit to change the world if we so choose to do so. Or do we choose to carry on with more of the same? Pause for thought. Really, really good point, Kelly. Thank you. So today, obviously, is the eclipse, and we're talking about that. And a reminder for those that joined on YouTube a little bit late because the connection was a bit slow today. Karen is having her birthday, so please send her birthday wishes for the rest of today. And of course, that means that you've got an opportunity, should you so wish, to jump on the Zoom and join in the conversation and have that chat about what it is we're talking about today. For me, it's about creating a better future. Charlie Jeffs, welcome along. Same as when we share stories we love, to add a bit of drama to make the story more captivating. Yes, absolutely. Chinese whispers is one thing where we mishear something, but we do like to fluff it up a little bit and add a little bit of drama. The problem with that, of course, is as you're making that point, I'm sure you'd be aware, when we add a little bit of fluff, so does somebody else. And it depends who and what is added as to how that story ends up. One man's adventure is another person's fear. And this is something that I worry about in this way of life, because we all have such wonderfully unique, and I'm not knocking this, wonderfully unique different ways of thinking. We might, as you say, add a little bit of fluff to make it a little bit more interesting. And we might end up, we might actually end up adding something that we think is really, really cool and groovy that has scared the bajinkies out of someone else. So absolutely, it is true to say that people do like adding fluff. We have to be careful what we add and make sure that it's, truth. I'm going to come to Lilybell's question in a second, but it reminds me, one of the things that we always used to say in church services, when that was one of the only formats to be able to work as a medium publicly, every medium that I've ever met always tends to end their prayers with the three words: love, truth, and light. We work in love, truth, and light. And it's much the same as an old saying of, we live for the one, we die for the one. Everyone focuses on the dying and forgets that to live for the one is as equally important. Babylon 5 quote for those that don't know. But when it comes to those three words, adding that fluff to make it sound drama does not sit well with number two. Depending on what type of fluff it is, it doesn't sit well with love. And it certainly doesn't sit with bringing light and knowledge and wisdom to the world. So I've noticed when watching online that all and sundry use love, truth, and light as a buzzword catchphrase, because some of the things that they say do not sit well with those three words. What we should absolutely say is, do as you will, so long as it harm none, as the Wiccans would say. But don't say those words if you do not mean them to their highest intent. I might make things sound weird. I might make things sound different. I might reword things in a different way. but I try not to fluff because that doesn't sit well with truth. And depending on the person listening, it doesn't sit well with the other two either. So, all mediums out there, if you say love, truth, and light, mean it. And I know there are many that do, but there are some that do not. And those are the ones you have to watch for. If they're saying it and not meaning it, walk away, find somebody else. There are loads of people on the internet that work for spirit and do so with love, with truth, and with light. And so to shine a light on Lilybell's question, so it's best not to manifest today. Is that what you're saying? Absolutely not. Kelly Rocket's point was that they say that it's a kind of a magnetic point, a magnifier for what you want to manifest. It's just that it doesn't necessarily come until the next solar eclipse. I don't know about you, Lilybell, but I think that the longer the journey, the more stable the footsteps. So if you want something manifesting long term, today's definitely the day for it. And peace and love and joy as a long term prospect is definitely something that we want to consider. Whatever you are manifesting today will have an impact, is what that statement means. So we should be careful what we're thinking. And that's my point about the fear mongering. If everyone's afraid, whether or not you're deliberately manifesting or not, it's a moment where that manifestation can take root. So if you're feeling down and worried and fearful, then that may well cling on, like a Klingon, for those Star Trek fans out there. So it is wise to think about positivity. It's wise to think about wants and needs. It's wise to think about joy and love and upliftment during this time, because that is what manifestation's about. But sadly, the flip side of it is that if you sit there in fear and worry, then that's what you're going to end up manifesting. It's what science, sociology, calls self-fulfilling prophecy. I love the fact that they use one of our words for that. Self-fulfilling prophecy states that if you think it often enough, it will come to pass. And that's what always worries me in these posts about fear-mongering. If you think it often enough, it will be so. So we have a duty to think about love, to think about truth, and to think about light, and certainly shine a light into each corner of the world, because that is what it's all about. And so be bold, be brave, and be positive, for tomorrow the sun will rise and we will be back for another day of that mundane journey called life. And every so often, those mundane steps will lead to something amazing that we will take with us for the rest of that journey. So there we are. I hope that answers your question, Lilybell. Gabby would love to join in Zoom, but right, okay. Would love to join in Zoom, but can't find the message. The link's just gone up again. Richard has just popped it up. So to give everyone an opportunity to find that link, should they so wish, I think now would be a perfect opportunity to see what the lovely Kate May has got to say about today and the coming week, because of course I would be very much surprised if she didn't mention a certain celestial event that's impacting pretty much everything in the Atlantic and the other side of America too. So for the first time today, and I've got no one to say it for me, you know, I love it when Karen says it, because it's so exciting and uplifting. I can't lead her to say it, so I'm just going to say it myself. Roland Richard.
Good morning. morning, everybody. My name's Kate May, Modern Day Mystic. Thank you for joining me. Your week ahead tarot readings for each zodiac sign. Here we go. This is for the week of Monday, the 8th of April. It's a super exciting week because we have the new moon in Aries and we also have the full eclipse happening. So expect big transformations for everyone. Expect new beginnings. It's like a reset button. But in order to have a reset button, sometimes we've got to let things go. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky. So go with the flow. The energy does start to calm down after this week and you'll see that things fall into place a lot more. Okay, Aries, your first card is the Tower. So there could be some unexpected surprises. We've got the new moon in your card, but we also have the sun. We also have the in your sign, we also have that solar full eclipse. So big changes are coming up for you, Aries. You may feel a little bit wobbly this week. You might find that you need to break things down and there may be some shocks and situations that actually do that for you. But in that breaking down, it's going to allow you to rebuild something a lot stronger. Taurus, lots of ideas around money, lots of ideas around new work opportunities. The ground is great for you. There's a solid foundation. Good news around younger people as well, connected to their work and their practical opportunities. You're coming this week, Taurus, into new ways of financial opportunities that I would say go for it. Gemini, contracts will be important for you this week. There's a brand new beginning coming in for you. You're going to leave the past behind as you start a new venture, new ways of thinking, Gemini. This really is a step forward. It's like you've been waiting for a while now, and now you're going to see that clarity. You're having that breakthrough moment this week. Cancer, my favourite card, and the Cancerian card. You're overcoming obstacles, Cancer. You're feeling like you're on top of the road again, top of the horse. You're feeling like you're more in control of situations. It's going to be really important this week that you stay focused and on track of what it is you want, your goals. You could be easily distracted. Maybe it's that eclipse, maybe it's the new moon. So try and stay on track of things, get your to-do list. You can reach your goals. You can overcome obstructions and you're going to get victory. So keep on going, but stay focused, Cancer. Leo, grand week for new opportunities, taking a leap of faith, adventures, and just going for it. If ever there was a week that you wanted to do something new, this is it, Leos. Take the leap of faith and start new ventures, possibly travel coming around you. Virgo, it's going to be really important that you use your head, not your heart so much this week. So think logical. You may have to detach things on an emotional level so that you can deal with things more logically. You could be getting some good sound advice perhaps from a consultant or a lawyer or somebody with a very smart business mind here. Someone who isn't emotionally attached to you is going to give you some grand advice here, Virgos. But it's important that you stay detached and think smart. Libra. Keep doing what you're doing, Libra. There's no need to rock the boat this week. There's no need to make any sudden changes. You could find that there's spiritual organizations and spiritual groups that become really open and important to you where you feel like you belong. But in a nutshell, Libra, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't rock the boat. This is not the week for big changes for you. You want to stay where you've got a routine and where you feel organized. Scorpio. Three of Swords, Scorpio, could be some difficult news for you this week, Scorpio. You may feel quite emotional. Release it. Try not to hold on to anything. Let things go. We all have to go through healing parts at some point, and this week, Scorpio, it is for you. Don't worry about some small disappointments. Challenges will pass, okay? They never stay there, but it's important that you learn to heal. Sagittarius. You're re-evaluating everything around yourself at the moment, particularly practically, home, work, where your money is and where your time and energy is. Persevere for the moment. Don't make any changes just yet, Sagittarius, but you could be really re-evaluating your time and energy and checking in if you're on the right path of things. Capricorn. Little few battles going on this week, Capricorn. Try not to get involved. Step back from the drama rama. Let everybody have their opinion. That's all it is an opinion. This week you might find that everyone's talking but no one's listening. So it's going to be important to hear everybody's point of view before you make any decisions. But at the end of the day, some of it is just their opinions. Aquarius. Two of Cups, two people coming together, Aquarius. You're on the right page with somebody. There's harmony and there's a union. You may find there's a good business connection that comes up for you this week, Aquarius. It does bring the card of connections though, so look out for great opportunities with you and somebody else where you can build on potential emotionally and business. And Pisces, you're leading the way a bit more, Pisces. You're being an inspiration to others this week. You should be feeling a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more confident. You've overcome difficulties. There's a bit more spark in the air for you. Surround yourself with inspirational and positive people.
And we say a huge big thank you to the lovely Kate Mary. And guess what? Give us a countdown. 3, 2, 1. With any, not yet, not quite, Um, tell me when I've got 3 seconds and then I can do a countdown, darling. We are having a massive experiment going on here. This is really, really exciting. I've got people in the Zoom room, but Richard is endeavoring to get us on TikTok. So 3, 2, 1. Hello, TikTok as well. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. It is Monday, the 8th of April, and it's 11:10 where I sit in the UK. We are streaming to the world via the wonderful, wonderful means of technology. And with any luck, we are currently live on Facebook. It is Start Your Day. TikTok, that's the one. See, they're coming. I'm going to use the excuse. It's spirit starting to come in now. That's about as fluffy as I get. We are endeavoring to stream on TikTok as well as Facebook and YouTube. Welcome along, everyone. This is Start Your Day on Monday's SPTV schedule. And I have got some lovely, lovely friends waiting to have a chat, sitting in the Zoom room. One of them has their camera off and is not able to hear at the moment. So hopefully Bella will be joining us soon. But first of all, give a big SPTV welcome to the lovely Gabby. Hello, Gabby.
Hi.
Hey. My mug isn't taking up the whole screen anymore. It's brilliant. Thank you for joining us. How have you been?
I'm pretty okay. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And so whereabouts are you joining us from?
I wanted to say I live in Sweden, and for the first time this week we have nice sunshine outside. So I'm pretty happy.
Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Just blame it on the boogie. I don't know why I've got that in my head right now, but that's just me. So, see, Gabby's now getting to see the fun of what we have in the behind the scenes. Kelly Roquette says, "Hi, Gabby." So, welcome along, and I'm gonna work with Spirit and get you a message in a mo. But we have been talking obviously about the eclipse today. Now, of course, being in Sweden, being in East Anglia, I ain't going to see nothing. You certainly ain't. But have you been following at all the stories and reports of what's going on with the eclipse?
Not completely, but I do feel since 3 days or maybe since last Tuesday that the energy is different.
Yeah. Do you know what this is? This is something I hear a lot, especially when it comes to celestial events. And I love the wording that you're using. It's different. You're not putting a positive, you're not putting a negative on it. It's just different. And so that is so refreshing, Gabby. Thank you. It is different, isn't it? And it's like when a tide turns, or when the wind changes direction, or when, as you will have experienced recently in Sweden, when a cloud drifts out the way and lets the sun in, it just feels different. And I think it's important that we make what we make of it rather than allowing it to direct us, don't you think?
Yeah, I just feel that the birds are louder. You can hear the trees waving almost. The energy is different. It's
brilliant. Fabulous. Gabby, welcome along and thank you. It is such a pleasure to meet you and to hear someone describe it that way. I am going to link in now and see who's about. Yes, of course. Thank you. I'm reminded when I first asked for someone to say hello, as I am frequently. Yeah, you're back. Definitely. Thank you. There was a gentleman building up, and as he came forward, instantly I felt this pang, this twang, this feeling around my heart area, top of my left lung, But for me, it feels more like the heart because it's that whining, nagging feeling that my heart gives me. So I do know that there would have either been an extremely emotional gentleman or it would have been in relation to a physical condition. I'm now starting to feel my blood pressure rising, so it would have been a physical condition. So there is blood pressure and a problem with the heart with this gentleman. Although he keeps correcting me, it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem. It was just life. It was just life. And I do. You mentioned a few moments ago about energy feeling different and not, giving it one factor or another. I do feel like this gentleman would have been very similar in that, and it may well be that he would have been a heavy influence on you in relation to how you see the world. And yes, that would usually be attributed to a parental figure, but it's not about the fact that he influenced you. Parents do. It's the way he influenced you, about being open to the world, about accepting things as the way they are, about accepting all of the various different parts of life. With its joys and its pains, you can learn from all of them. And this guy is a real pleasure to experience. As he gets a bit closer, I'm also feeling something. I don't know whether it's an itch or a strange sensation running down my neck. So I just throw that in as well. I don't know whether you can understand that, but would you understand with the exception of the neck? Would you understand a parental figure? I'm using that very discreetly rather than being committed to an actual father. So I don't know whether there was some kind of either geographical or emotional distance at some point. But would you understand the father figure played that role in your life would have had that condition?
Yeah, for multiple. It could be the first one I thought of was my grandfather. He died of a heart attack. But also a stepfather.
Right, I'll stop you there. Don't feed the medium; he'll bite your hand off. I was feeling some distance, and usually that distance is either emotional or physical. The physical distance, stepfather, would fit perfectly with this gentleman because of that distance, but because of that still, step is just a word.
Mhm.
Father is an emotion. And so for me, he would have felt that non-biological distance, but he would have still felt like what I would say, and this is in no disrespect, it's actually in compliment, a proper dad. He played the part because being a biological father is one thing. Being a father is completely different. And this guy was that to you. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's this wonderful feeling of it's life. And when you mentioned about hearing the trees, I heard a bit of a laugh. So, it's almost like he was not sarcastically, but irony and finding it funny that you would think of things like that because he just thought it was brilliant. And so that laughter behind it was one of joy, not Mickey taking. Almost, I do feel that this guy was a little bit of a Mickey taker, but he would use that to bring joy and upliftment rather than the great I am, because that is certainly someone who he is not. He was a very humble man who saw life in a way that many people would have probably considered peculiar, but actually was really quite beautiful. And as he gets closer, I'm actually I'm loving this. I've the one thing about being a medium is that you can lose weight instantly when the person you're coming in with is lighter than you, and I feel lighter, I feel taller, I feel proud and strong. And although you said stepfather, I do see that there's something, I don't know whether it's your glasses or whether it's your smile or but something about you does look like him, even though it's stepfather. There's something about you that does kind of connect, and it's the way you're looking. It's that stare. It's that thoughtful, the way you look up and look across, and the way you focus on things, the way you use your eyes is similar to what he would have done. So there are some physical features that feels like you would have learned, not inherited, from him. And he was someone who was very, even though he was open to the world, he was still very analytical, very critical thinking. And certainly that's something that he would have given to you as a gift for life. And I don't know whether this is about you or whether it's about him, but I keep getting drawn to this shelf I have up here full of crystals. It's almost like he's taking a really good interest. So it's the crystals connecting. And one of the okay, now he's taking the mick out of me, I think, because I've got to bring one of them down. Now, be careful, sir. As much as you're welcome, this was a gift from my mum, so don't take too much, Mick. I've got no idea what I'm about to do. But he keeps looking at this crystal wand that I've got for healing, and he's just standing there with it. He's going, Wingardium Leviosa. So he's open, but he's having a bit of fun about it as well. But I do know that healing is this has a copper core as well. There's something about a core. Would it be either yourself or him that would have some kind of metal? What is that? It's almost like there's for me, this is feeling like it's a metal rod, either fix a pin or a plate in a bone. Would you understand that with either him or yourself?
Well, I had a metal plate here.
Right, okay, because he's just saying, oh look, got something in common, and he's he was talking about this metal in the bone kind of thing. So I give you that, but also it is about the healing and about would I be right in saying that you are either interested in, involved with, or wanting to do healing? Because he's
Yes.
making this parallel between that wand with a metal core and your hand having the metal core. And he says, see, it's just like you, but you don't need the crystal to do it. And he's just putting those familiarities and similarities, in relation to that. So I add that in for you as well. So he's obviously very interested in this healing journey that you are partaking in. And once again, there's nothing but compliment and upliftment for you in relation to that, because he's just going, I think it's wonderful. And he's saying, you don't need the wand because you've got the metal rod yourself. And he's just having a laugh about it. And he's really overjoyed. He says, it's really, really weird. You're in Sweden. I'm in the fens. I'm in heaven. And we're all talking to each other, and it's because he's just got this absolute thrill of connection. I do feel that in his earlier life, he would have probably not had the connections that he wanted or strived or needed. And so to be able to breach, oh, that's an interesting phrase, breach the barriers of reality to be able to communicate with you is so uplifting. And he's not coming through with any particular goal or intent or reason to give you guidance and direction. It's just about being able to talk and being able to come through and say hello, because you know what you're doing and you know you're all right and you know you're going to be fine and you know what you want and you know how to get it. And he's just saying, I'm rooting for you. He says it's great watching over her because I've got very little work to do. I can just enjoy. So I do feel that he just wants to give you that word of support and upliftment. So as he starts to step back, I normally ask for a parting gift. It's like a flower or an ornament or something like that. But no, he wants me to give you a flowing river as a parting gesture. So I will say, I hope that's all right for you, and say God bless.
Thank you very much. Is it okay if I give some feedback?
Absolutely. Yes, yes. I'm not going to bite your hand off now because I've said all I need to say.
Yeah. Well, I started mediumship training in January and started with my Reiki training. And my hands are burning hot right now. So this was more like a validation. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. You know, absolutely. He was so in awe and enamored by your courage and strength and ability to just do. And certainly the healing was really important. And of course, Reiki is a wonderful way of delivering healing to the world. So, you know, may I offer my encouragement on your path, and don't stop, keep going. You know, when you get to a point where somebody mentions the word healing and you start burning, you know you're doing it right. So more more power to your elbow. And I don't feel that that's one of my jokes because it's not cheesy enough for me. So I hope that helps and hopes that was all right for you, Gabby.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Bless you. And thank you for keeping me company on the screen. It's nice to have someone to talk to. And of course, even though you know you'll be disappearing off the screen in a moment, you know, do carry on watching the show and engaging because the community part is the bit that we absolutely love. But thank you for your support, Gabby, and thank you for coming on. And I hope that helped.
Thank you for having me.
God bless. Bless her. Well, friends, that Gabby. Wow. And a big hello to the 120 people watching on TikTok. This is awesome. Hello to TikTok. I've done a couple of dodgy TikTok lives on my own service once or twice in the past, but this is wonderful to be able to say we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok from the wonderful community that is SPTV. Welcome along, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Please, thank you. Please do remember to share, to like, to comment, and get involved in the conversation. Reverend Ashley Oliver, hello, Ashley, again. I love your mediumship, Nick. You have such a lovely delivery. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. I let them, to an extent, do what they want without, you know, breaching certain rules of decorum and common sense. And if they want to be emotional and flap their hands all over the place, who am I to say no? It's just another string to the bow of information that can be provided. If the, like for instance, on Saturday, I was giving a message and I was leaning over like nobody's business. And it turned out that that's the way she was. So I love the ability for them to make use of me in every possible way they can. But Ashley, thank you so much. It's very kind of you. Well, we are in the middle of setting up, or we may be ready. Excellent. So I'm not on my own anymore. Once Bella unmute, there she goes. She's unmuted herself. I'm going to say, please give a big SPTV welcome to the lovely Bella.
Hi.
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 Hello. Welcome along, Bella. Lovely to see you.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here. And I have to say, I've got to really thank Richard for that as well, because I stumbled across his live last night on TikTok, and something told me I needed to stop, not scroll anywhere, and just stay. So yeah, and I'm glad I did. It was really nice, and I think I needed to reach out. You know, I'd got to that stage in my life where I felt it was time.
Absolutely. And yes, so just for everyone at home, I mentioned earlier, Neil Payne says hello to Bella.
Hi, hi Neil.
Bless his Now, Richard and I were actually talking before the show started today, and he was actually talking about you. And then, of course, you come up on the Facebook stream to say that you're there, and now we're back on TikTok again. It was brilliant to see you come up, and I'm really, really grateful that you came on Zoom to have a chat. So one of the things that I tend to do is like to have a bit of a chat with someone, not fish. But obviously you've been on TikTok and doing your stuff on TikTok. How did you find yourself doing what you were doing, and tell everyone what it is that you're doing, you know?
Well, to be honest, when I go on TikTok, it's because I've been feeling quite lonely. So literally, it's an avenue for me to kind of talk to other people. So yeah, and also to kind of post. Sorry, I'm just a bit emotional. No, it's okay. You know, it's just I'm going through a really emotional time. So I just need support and help, really.
Well, if I may be honest, having been in a similar situation to yourself, that slightest nod of your own thoughts creeping in and taking over, definitely come to the right family. And I do say the word family. There is an absolute wealth of love, support, and compassion in the SPTV community. And once you set foot in it, they're really, really good at not letting you go. They are a lovely, lovely bunch. I do call the SPTV family a family because the community is just absolutely amazing. And you'll end up gravitating and orbiting around each other, and they'll be doing something and they'll follow you, and they'll send you a comment on your Facebook, and then they'll share something and you'll go along and have a look at that. And it's wonderful because it is a community. And it would be easy for me to now turn around and say, community is what you need, but there's so much more to it than that. As I sit here, may I give you a reading?
Yes, please. I'd really like that. Thank you.
I think it's always important and polite to ask, and particularly the lady that's stepping in at this moment finds it really, really important and polite to ask. Now, I will tell you because this lady was an explainer, and a very gentle explainer, and I can feel the change in energy. And you see she was very, very interested in getting her nose and ear in everything, because she's looking at all of the lovely comments from the family, giving you that support and that love and that connection. You see what I see, so you can see that comment box flashing past with all those wonderful people sending love to you, because you do. There you go. The comments are even bigger now. He's a good stick, is Richard. This lady, as she builds up, she's saying, yes, you need a family and you need a community, but you need to know that you belong. And she's very adamant about this belonging. Now, this lady, as she comes forward, as I said, she's an explainer, and she's a very gentle, very, very graceful lady. And I've got to say, she's one of these people who aged gracefully. And in spite of, just to let everyone know, we're no longer on TikTok. But we're here together, so that's all that matters. And this is very clever. Thank you, madam. She was very, very clever as well. So as I link with her, she's reminding me, of course, that I had to explain because she was an explainer. So if at any point it gets too emotional and you want me to stop, just say thank you and that's it. I will do as I am told. And she's also very, very clear in this point that she knows you're not used to people necessarily doing what you ask them to.
Yeah.
And she's very much aware of that need of belonging is far more deep rooted than a community. One of the things that I feel was one of her ways of talking, and I'm going to come to some detail about her in a second, but it's like she wants to get the important stuff done. She's not too worried about, you know, the order at which it's done, because her priority is you and her need is with you. And she's saying being part of something is more than just belonging. It's being on an equal footing.
Yeah.
And that is something that you struggle to understand sometimes because of the lack of experience of being on an equal footing. And she's talking about a time when you were stronger, were bolder, were brasher. And because people didn't react well to that, you've withdrawn that strength. I don't know whether she was well read, but she's reminding me of Tennyson's Ulysses. And Tennyson's Ulysses ends, that strength which moved earth and heaven, that which you are, one equal temper of heroic hearts made weak by time and fate, yet strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. And she's giving this as a kind of really important reminder of who you really are, because she's not feeling that you are who you really are at the moment, because life has got in the way and stopped you. And that fear of being disconnected from the hive by being yourself. Well, this lady would have been the first person to tell you, can I reword that? Richard will boot me off. And she's had a bit of a, she said a naughty and she had a bit of a giggle about it because she was wanting to bring the energy up a little bit and make you laugh. She would have said a naughty word. It wouldn't have been a really, really strong naughty word, but it would have been a naughty word nonetheless. But it translates to they don't matter. And them would have been the second word. This lady, as she steps up, she is a really, really tiny lady in physicality, but in stature, she's bold. Her skin, thank you, she's reminded me now. She aged so gracefully, and it seemed like she got more beautiful with age because she allowed herself to evolve. And every single line and every single wrinkle was a map of her life, she says. And besides which, there weren't that many really. And she's having another giggle. But she was someone who would have been, would have looked like Monroe in her youth, but also, grew old gracefully and still had that inner beauty radiating outwards. I do feel that there would have been a condition. I'm feeling a sensation from my neck down to my chest. So I don't know whether there would have been a problem in the chest or the neck area, but somewhere there. And I do feel she feels like that stereotypical grandma who's just saying, "Come here, you," and she just wants to grab you by the face and say, "I've got you, I've got you, I've got you." But you know that anyway because you see her and hear her and feel her. Would you understand this lady?
It's really weird because I've been I do feel but sometimes I kind of question myself. But I do talk out loud, not just to my mum, but my other members of my family too, because
Yeah.
I'm really the
Take your time.
I'm the last one in our immediate family.
Yeah. That is always really, really hard. But I'm going to tell you something now that's very, very true. And it's very, very true of this community. Family are people who you are put with. Friends are the family you choose. And even though it feels like you're alone because you're the last one of her, and feeling this lady coming through, I know that you were blessed with very loving relatives. This, you would understand that this lady was the matriarch, the stalwart, the medicine woman, the politician, the poet, the priest of the family. And she held everything together with spit, baling wire, and force of will.
Are you referring to my mum?
I thought it might, even though she's the quintessential grandma. It's that gentle relationship of the motherly side of the relationship that I'm feeling, because it's. Would you understand? It doesn't feel like I have to be a disciplinarian with you.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah.
And
She
that's
she was like a mother to everybody. You know, everybody loved her.
bless her. I can see why. The way she sits here, and it's she's very, very discreet. She's very, very gentle. She's very, very comfortable and relaxed. I mean, the fact that I'm not flailing my arms around like a whirligig at them, and those were what is a whirligig? We're having this chit chat at the moment. She's just having a bit of fun with me, and you know, she said, "At least you're not flailing your arms around like a whirligig now." But she's not saying it in a disrespectful way. She's just saying in a very matter of fact, very fun way. It's like a bit of a grin. And would you understand that when she told a joke and had a bit of a giggle, the shoulders would go up?
Yeah,
Because at least you're not rolling around like a whirligig now. And the shoulders went up and a bit, and she wants to remind you of the fun, because look at yourself right now with that smile. That is lighting up the world. And you do. And she says, when you are talking to us, you might not always hear an answer, but we're hearing what you're saying. Some of the requests we can't fix, we can't come back. But some of the correct requests, like, am I going to be all right? Absolutely. Because you will find what you need to find. And if I may be so brash and bold, part of that you found last night.
yeah.
Part of that you carried on with today, because there's all these messages of love and support from total strangers, Bella.
I'm so
This
grateful. I'm just so grateful. Thank you.
That's the joy of this family. You don't need to thank them. And in actual fact, that is the kind of thing that your mother would have said. You don't need to thank people for kindness. They do it because they want to.
I'm not used to that. I've
No, I
always
can
been there
imagine.
for everybody else, but whenever I needed it, I was dealing with it all alone. And it just made me wonder, what am I doing here anymore? And I just felt so lonely because everyone else is almost all gone. And I'm just, hanging in here, and I felt so invisible. Like I could have just disappeared. No one would have known.
Well, all that has changed. All that has changed. Because you have got all of these people here really, really here to support you. We're going to take a break in a moment, but I just want to say one thing. This lady thinks the absolute world of you. Love. Oh, she had really, really bony fingers. Really, really bony fingers. Because these bony fingers, I love the bones of her. I love the bones of her. And you asked for a sign of where to go from here. Last night you got it. But the important thing is you grabbed it by both hands and came back. And that would have been you. If you want something, yes, ask for it, but you've got to go out and get it. And you've done that today. You've done that today. And the love in that, I have seen this family gather around left, right, and center before, and they have not disappointed and have not surprised me. You are stuck with us now.
I'm so grateful. I really am. I just needed that so much.
I'm going to end your reading with a comment and an image. I've got this big pot mum. It's almost like it's something that would have sat on a windowsill. But it's not all fancy colors. It's a nice, beautiful white one. I feel there's a memory link in there somewhere, or a sign for the future, because as Minty May says, the sun will shine again, I promise. See, you've got us all gathering round you now. So we're going to take a quick break, me and Bella and Richard, while everyone gets to see what's going on in the rest of the SPTV universe in the upcoming days and hours. And we will be right back after this, but we'll see you in a moment.
Thank you, Nick.
Help Spiritual Psychics TV grow our TikTok channel. Connect with us at SPTV UK. We're on a journey to reach our next milestone, and we need your help. Follow us today and support us going live. Imagine getting personalised readings, discovering your card of the day, and so much more. Don't miss out on the opportunity to explore new adventures with us. Follow, engage, and transform. Join our growing community at Spiritual Psychics TV with @SPTV UK on TikTok.
Introducing the SPTV app, your digital spiritual guide for an enlightening journey like no other. Immerse yourself in a world of audio and visual content crafted to inspire, educate, and entertain. Seek guidance with our card of the day, choosing up to 6 cards for personal insights. Enhance your daily life with our wellness section, featuring nutritious recipes, affirmations, and balanced living tips. Explore our spiritualism section for a deep understanding of the religion, its principles, and spiritual answers. Unravel the secrets of the clairs and broaden your spiritual horizon. Easily find local readers, therapists, centers, or churches with our comprehensive directory. Stay connected with live broadcasts, check our schedule, and get to know our insightful presenters. Delve into the meanings of angel numbers, crystals, and a comprehensive list of divination meanings. All of this and more, available for free on the SPTV app. Download now at sptv.uk/app and start your journey with your digital spiritual guide.
Join Minty May live tonight from 8 p.m, offering tarot and mediumship readings to our viewers.
Tune in tomorrow from 6 p.m. UK time for SPTV's community show, hosted by Stace Shaw and guests. Join in for engaging topics, readings, workshops, latest gossip, and more, all designed for viewer participation.
Are you looking for some spiritual love or relationship guidance? If so, then join Jennifer Rose tomorrow from 8 p.m.
So I am back. Bella is sitting in the background, and so she can hear us, and she can read your comments. Now, because she's on a mobile, she couldn't really see the comments very well, but I've just been explaining to her the wonderful thing about this technology and the wonderful thing about this family is that the comments are like the people. They don't go anywhere after they've arrived. Your support, SPTV family, has been amazing, as I expected it would. As Helen Mansell says, SPTV, this is the best place to be for support and kindness. And Helen, you are absolutely right. June Briggs is sending lots of healing. Mama B's made a comment. Uh, you know, you've got all of these people around you. Nicola says, "Oh, Bella, sending you the biggest of hugs." And one of the things that Richard was saying while we were on the break, Bernie West says, "You are not alone, Bella. We are here for you. Reach out to any one of us at any time." I think the kindness of strangers is amazing. Sam B, you need to make your own family. Welcome to our family. And this is the joy, the kindness of strangers. A friend is a stranger you've yet to meet. And the first qualification to becoming a friend is saying hello. Minty May says it's a beautiful community here. I love how we are all there for each other. Big smiley face. Yeah, absolutely. The joys of SPTV. And, you know, Bella was saying a few things about her personal life while we were off air that I'm not going to share because it's not my place to. If she wants to, she's more than welcome to in the comments as you get to know her, because I'm sure you will. But what I will say is that the parallels between her life and my life are very similar. Me and Mum, we're part of what was once a huge family. And you know, as the years go past, it seems to get smaller and smaller. And I was in a dark place, I won't mind admitting, when I first came to SPTV. And SPTV really did pick me up, shake me up, and give me hope, because it's like walking into a room and everyone stops and everyone turns around and there's that pause where you breathe in as to what are they going to be like, and everyone jumps on you and hugs you. You know, it might be in word form, in emoji form, but it's still a big old hug. June Briggs says, "Angel walk among us." Absolutely, yes. And the community that SPTV is exactly what I was talking about right at the beginning. When Kelly Roquette mentioned, I believe it was Kelly Roquette mentioned, that whatever you think and manifest during the eclipse becomes a long-term thing. Well, we are here manifesting love and manifesting the sense of family, and it will be a long-term thing. Because as Denise Porter Gardner says, Bella will never be alone. And this is a beautiful place for her. Absolutely. Bella, I hope, I know it was kind of like not my usual kind of message, but I know this lady, Mum, is around you, guiding you into the right place, because she was always good at steering you in the right direction, even from a distance. Well, maybe one of the prayers that you needed answering was the family called SPTV. Kelly Roquette says, "Bless you, Nick. I almost shared something similar." Yeah, it is absolutely. Look, we're all human, and occasionally we're a little bit broken. But the best part of the human family is the way we pick each other up and fix each other. And so, Bella, welcome to the family. You're stuck with us, mate. Minty Bay says, "Sometimes we need to be like a tree. We need to rest, to stop, to pause, but we are still growing and moving forward slowly, but still moving forward." Yeah, absolutely, Minty, mate. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. It doesn't matter how fast you're moving. The fact is you're still moving. And it reminds me, actually, thank you, Minty, you reminded me something that I want to share with Bella right now. Because in times like this, we don't always feel very strong, and we don't always feel very bold. And we sometimes wonder how we will be measured. my view is that we are not measured in times of joy and upliftment. We're measured by how tall we are when we stand ourselves back up again after difficulty. And the fact that you can come on here and share your truth in an honest and kind way and in a truthful way says that you are not only standing back up, you are taller than you have ever been. I will say that this lady was laughing about the height thing. I assume that not being particularly tall runs in the family. But the point is, it's not, including yourself, it's not about physical height. It's about how you conduct and hold yourself. And from my view, you're one of the tallest people I know. So be bold, be brave, and enjoy the fun that you are going to have with this bunch of wonderful, wonderful nutters. Because they will make you laugh, they will make you cry, they will make you giggle, they'll make you pick yourself up when you're down, they will pick you up when you don't, and drive you absolutely loopy with humour, love, and laughter.
Can I ask you, Nick?
Of course you can.
Can my mum tell me if my dad is really sorry for abandoning me time and time again?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So for those that can't hear Richard, because only me and Bella can at the moment, Richard has suggested that maybe what would be wise is that if me and Bella have a meet up and do this in private. I will say she's got things to say about it, so definitely you'll get an answer. And just to bring the emotion back up, Bernie West says, "Did you hear that? He called us nutters. I'll take it." You know what? So we are, and I include myself in that. And I know
That's the
that
way
you're.
I prefer you. It's okay. I prefer you guys that way. It just makes me feel like I'm in a normal family.
Completely. Yeah, that is the joy of this bunch. Debbie
Yeah.
Callow says, "Oh, Bella, of course he is. It's pure love up there, and he wouldn't have felt it here on earth. So showing it to him up there, he would have known what you needed." What I was going to say, which I will back up, Debbie, but obviously continue in detail at another time, is that the weight of responsibility for our actions is as eternal as we are eternal. And so I agree with what Debbie just said. Helen Mansell says, "I was in a really dark place a while ago. You SPTV were there for me and it helped tremendously. I felt alone and then you all were there. Thank you." Look at the love that's been in. You have inspired love and compassion.
That's amazing.
That's what
Really?
you've done. That's what
Thank
you've
you.
done. Samby, does nutters mean the same everywhere? I don't know, actually. That's a very good point. I forget that we're international. Crazy, strange, and wonderful is what I call a nutter. Eunice says, "Bella, you are now in our family, always on here should you need someone." Do you know what? There's kind of like this continual evolving shift with SPTV. There's always someone there. And just as I say, we've been talking to your matriarch, the matriarch of SPTV herself, Deb Clark. Things will get better, Bella. I think they just have. I really, really do.
Yeah.
Really, really do.
Yeah.
Minty May, from the darkness comes the strongest light, and you are a huge ball of light and love, and with truly awesome strength, Bella.
Thank you, Minty. Thank you.
There you go.
I
Bless
will
you.
try my best not to let you guys down.
You never could, because this is the one thing about the SPTV family. All we ask is that you be yourself. That's all we ask. So it's not difficult. You will just need to be yourself. Neil Payne says, like I said, Bella, last night to you, I'm there to chat to you, so keep in touch. There we go. The maestro himself, Mr. Payne, lovely. I do love that picture of him. It's absolutely brilliant. Friends of
Thank you.
SPTV and family of SPTV, I want to thank you all for being who you are and being part of an absolutely awesome evidence of humanity. It's easy in times like this to feel the negative. It's easy in times like this to focus on the bad. But it's only when you come together in a collection of absolutely beautiful souls do you realize just how wonderful the world is. And I want to thank you all for being there for Bella and supporting each other as you always do. Bernie West said, if there's no crazy or nutters, then the family is incomplete. It takes a village not just to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a child and support each other. Absolutely, yes. I love that. Absolutely. Friends, it is just gone 12 o'clock and the love has been flowing. And I just want to remind everybody that tonight, Minty, we've just been talking about him, you see, did step in and see him working on SPTV last night as well. Tonight, of course, we have Minty at 8:30. It's usually 8, but it's 8:30 tonight. So don't be surprised if you come at 8 o'clock and he's not there, because he won't be for another half an hour. So don't forget Minty May tonight at 8:30. Do follow and support TikTok, because that is just awesome. We're working on ironing the kinks out, but they are being a bit grumpy with the feed at the moment. But Richard will find a way. Margaret Bennett sending much love to you, Bella. Love from a Scottish nutter. Chrissy Wheatley mentioned a moment ago that her journey has been, well, in actual fact, I'll read exactly what she says. The last 5 years have been heartbreaking and very stressful for me, but the last 3 years, SPTV have got me through because everyone has been absolutely amazing. So thank you to SPTV from the bottom of my heart, the best page I found on Facebook. Now, I'll tell you something about Chrissy Wheatley. She has been through the mill, but with the support and strength of the SPTV family, she has been one of my biggest pains in the butt. She's always having a laugh and joking with me and taking the mick, and that's exactly how I like people to be. We have this wonderful banter, and everyone does. And I know that before too long, you're going to be exactly the same, Bella. And in actual fact, you never know. You and Chrissy might end up one Friday afternoon or Monday morning or Wednesday afternoon ganging up on me, and that would be brilliant, because it's the fun and camaraderie of family. June Briggs says, big warm blanket of togetherness, love and peace coming your way, Bella. You are not on your own. And
Be grateful and for giving me hope. Hope is going to keep me hanging on, and and give me an opportunity to make things right in my life, for once. So I'm grateful.
I think you'll be doing better than just hanging on.
Yeah, I'm gonna live. Yes. I'm gonna live.
Yes. And I think, and as it's just me today with the wonderful Richard, of course, keeping me company. But I think because of the poignantness and the absolute joy of coming together that everyone has done today, I think that's actually a really, really beautiful place to end today's show. I know it's a little bit early, but I think it's appropriate because you know what? Hearing you say that, nothing's going to upstage that. Bernie West says SPTV is the reason I've been able to get peace about a lot of loss that I have experienced in the last 13 years. Forever grateful. Bless you, Bernie. And bless you to Bella. Thank you for your courage in coming on. And thank you to the SPTV family for all you have done today. And thank you, as ever, to that wondrously sassy and rather romantic voice in my ear, Richard. He has got the voice of radio for creating a spark of fire that has become. Yeah, he does. I am reminded he does have the face of a model too. Thank you, Richard, for creating that spark and that flame that has become this community. Chrissy Wheatley says it's called Share the Banter, Bella. I can be a bad influence if you need to just have a laugh and cheering up, but you will get there. Just take one day at a time. Absolutely.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Yeah.
To
So
everyone.
Chrissy, absolutely, you can be a bad influence. I can't believe that I've just said it because I know that I will be the target of many a jest, but I love it really. Well, friends, the time has come to say good night, for every road must end, but the joy is there's a corner and we'll just turn it. And so until we meet again, friends, thank you all for your love, your compassion, and your strength. And I am so proud to be a part of this SPTV family. You do yourselves and this channel credit by your actions and behaviors. Now go out and manifest love and laughter and joy, because we are going to make the world a better place. Hope springs eternal. For now, God bless you all, and we'll see you all soon. Don't forget Minty May tonight at 8:30.
8:30.